It seems like love is in the air in 2022, as today we are going to be taking a look at the top 10 celebrities who are secretly married this year. From reality TV stars to musicians, I'm your host Woody. Let's get into it. Number 10. Britney Spears and Sam Asghari. Pop superstar Britney Spears finally got to accomplish a long-awaited task that had been pushed to the sidelines due to her conservatorship. On June 9th, she got married to fiancé Sam Asghari at their home in Thousand Oaks. Apparently, they were able to turn her home into what she called a dream castle, saying that the day was a dream and the party was even better. Things were a little scary leading up to the ceremony, however, as her ex-husband Jason Alexander was arrested and charged with trespassing after breaking into the site of the wedding. This is in fact Spears' third wedding, but it seems that she and Sam are very happy together and have been engaged since September after meeting on set of a music video in 2016. While apparently a small ceremony with only around 100 guests that were close to the two, it was certainly extravagant. Spears wore a custom Versace dress, which many were expecting when it was revealed she had met up with the designer before the wedding was even announced. Number 9. Hale Ferguson and Oula Palve. Star of The Bachelor and The Bachelor in Paradise, Hale Ferguson just got married to Finnish hockey player Oula Palve. They were married in Las Vegas on Saturday, June 11th. After leaving The Bachelor behind, Hale met the hockey player in January of 2020, getting engaged shortly after in May of 2021. Her and her twin sister Emily, who also got engaged to a professional hockey player, shared a joint bridal shower and bachelorette party, but knew that they wanted to have separate individual weddings. But Hale did have Emily at her side as her maid of honor. Another interesting wedding guest was an Elvis impersonator, who Hale said she had there because it's Vegas and you just have to. For their honeymoon, they announced that they will be going to Laguna Beach and Los Angeles, as well as Universal Studios, as Palve is apparently a large fan of Harry Potter. In the future, they say they just want to enjoy being married for now, but ideally would like to have 2 or 3 children. Number 8. Mama June and Justin Stroud. Here Comes Honey Boo Boo mother Mama June has made the headlines a few different times, probably most popularly for her massive physical transformation, but this time she's the talk of the town after she had a courtroom wedding with her boyfriend Justin Stroud after they had been together for less than a year, 6 months to be exact. On June 1st, they announced their marriage and showed off their wedding band, saying, well, official Mama June and official Smalls are off the market. She said that when you know, you just know, and teased that their journey and love story will be featured in upcoming episodes of the show Mama June Road to Redemption. She went on to say that Justin has done a great deal for her, saying he put the pieces of her life back together, and she's apparently happier than she's been for a long time, and finally knows who June Shannon is after 42 years. Number 7. Christmas Abbott and Memphis Garret. If we're placing bets on the most unique names on this list, I would put mine here, as Big Brother stars Christmas Abbott and Memphis Garret got married in May of this year. They got married at the State Railroad Museum in Savannah, Georgia, after originally meeting on Big Brother All-Stars in the summer of 2020. And while they didn't win the competition, it does appear they both won each other's hearts. They got engaged in 2021, and Garret shared his excitement, saying, we can continue to build our relationship and grow together. We have so much fun together and we complement each other. When you find something like that, you don't ever want to let that go. She is my forever girl. While Abbott originally wanted to have a small courtroom ceremony, Garret had been the one to convince her to have a larger ceremony and allow more friends and family to be present and share in the love. He was also apparently responsible for planning the entire wedding. Number 6. Shauni O'Neal and Keion Henderson. Basketball Wives star and ex-wife of Shaquille O'Neal, Shauni O'Neal got married to pastor Keion Henderson at the Aurora Anguilla Resort and Golf Club in May after getting engaged in November of 2021. She was also joined by her daughters, who helped her to get dressed and prepared for the big day. Henderson also shared his excitement about his wife, saying, she's amazing. She's just the most laid-back, hilarious, fun-loving person. She's a woman of faith, she can dress, she can cook, and she can sing. Shauni had been anxious about walking down the aisle after her father passed before the wedding, saying, I really struggled with how I was going to get down the aisle. Losing my dad in the midst of planning this wedding was a lot, so my sons handed me off. The children were apparently a large part of the ceremony and had such a good time that they didn't even want to leave when it was over. As they look to the future, they apparently want to build a legacy together, and Shauni said this new chapter of her life is all about growing and evolving. Number 5. James Lafferty and Alexandra Park. Another May wedding, this one took place place between One Tree Hill star James Lafferty and Royals actress Alexandra. They got married in Oahu, Hawaii, but it appears that they don't want to share too much about the ceremony, as neither of them have shared any pictures from the wedding on their own social media accounts. They first met in 2015 when Lafferty directed an episode of The Royals, but didn't officially announce a relationship until years later in 2018, and the engagement was announced 2 years after that. Lafferty shared the news of the engagement in September 2020 with a selfie of them together in the kitchen with a caption that read, "She said yeah." One photo that we did get from the wedding came from La friend Hattie Preston, who posted a photo of Alexandra in a beautiful lace dress on the dance floor of the ceremony. Number 4. Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker. Keeping Up with the Kardashians member Kourtney Kardashian and drummer Travis Barker were married for what appears to be the third time in May of this year. They had first had a practice wedding at a Las Vegas chapel in April, and then their legal marriage on May 15th, before finally having their official wedding in Italy on May 22nd. They were surrounded by their loved ones, including all of their 6 children. They also took to sharing a few photos of their beautiful ceremony to Instagram right after the wedding. An interesting tidbit to share about their practice wedding in Las Vegas is that, similar to Hailey Ferguson, they had an Elvis impersonator present. They were first engaged in October of 2021 in a romantic gesture where they stood in a heart made of roses and candles. It was then followed by a celebratory dinner with the family, which could be viewed on an episode of the Hulu series The Kardashians. Number 3. Frankie Grande and Hale Leon. Reality star and sister to Ariana Grande, Frankie Grande got married to his partner Hale Leon in an intimate ceremony which took place at their home in Florida on May 4th. It definitely seems like May was a big month for celebrity weddings this year. They met at a line dancing bar in 2019, and 2 years later Frankie proposed. While at a virtual reality experience, a "Will you marry me" message showed up on the screen. Frankie said of the wedding, "It was the most beautiful ceremony, officiated by my incredible mother, and it brought us even closer together as we took our vows before our immediate families and before God." They wore tuxedos and drank sparkling cider and cut into a Star Wars themed cake for the ceremony, the whole wedding apparently being described as out of this world. Ariana Grande also appeared on social media to share her support for the two, saying, "Crying again. I love you both so very much." Number 2. Ross Matthews and Dr. Wellinthon Garcia. RuPaul's Drag Race judge Ross Matthews married his fiancée Dr. Wellinthon Garcia in a beachside ceremony in Mexico in, you guessed it, May of this year. It was apparently the same place that the couple had met 2 years ago, and they exchanged vows in front of around 110 guests. They had been worried about how many people would actually show up due to it being a destination wedding, and had apparently stressed over where to actually hold it, since Matthews lives in Los Angeles and Garcia in New York. But friend Drew Barrymore apparently gave them advice, saying, "Do it where you're supposed to do it, and the people who are supposed to be there will be there." And as it turns out, 110 of the invited 130 guests came for the wedding. Drew Barrymore also ended up being the flower girl for the wedding, after having joked about it with Ross Matthews on her show. Celebrity wedding planner Michael Russo said of the wedding, "The profound love shared by Ross and Wellinthon was felt by all of those in attendance at their beautiful and touching ceremony. The two exchanged heartfelt vows against the picture-perfect backdrop of an epic sunset painting the Puerto Vallarta, Mexico sky." Number 1. Ewan McGregor and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Finally, not a May wedding on this list. Actor Ewan McGregor and Mary Elizabeth Winstead got married in a small ceremony in April. The wedding comes after 4 years of them being together and having a son together in June of 2021. The source said of the wedding, "It was a small wedding for family and close friends. They had an outdoor ceremony. It was lovely and joyful. The menu was farm to table. They are an adorable couple. They are pretty low-key and like their canyon life. They often hike and go to the beach." They originally met on the set of Fargo in late 2016, and afterwards both ended up divorcing their current partners. Winstead after 7 years of marriage, and McGregor after 22. Ewan McGregor is currently continuing his role as Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Disney Plus series, and Winstead is preparing to appear in the series Ahsoka. Thank you guys for watching. That was 10 celebrities that were secretly married in 2022. I've been Woody, and you've been amazing. Join us next time for more.